Hey everyone, I'm Carly. I'm using mostly they, them pronouns these days. I'm a cross stitcher, a knitter, a spinner, and a natural dyer, and this is my FlossTube. Welcome to my January, February, March-ish roundup. I have quite a bit to share, which feels very exciting. I haven't been filming the past couple months, I just haven't had the opportunity. So this is just going to be everything that I've done since the last time I filmed. I'm going to start with cross stitch first and then move on to yarny type things. So if you don't care, you can leave at that point. It'll also just kind of help me keep myself straight. So yeah, let's jump in. I have two finishes today, which feels amazing to say. First, I have House of Love by Nikki's Creations. And the reason I bought this pattern, I bought it like a couple years ago when I first really started getting into stitching. It was on sale and the quality of the photo on 123 Stitch was awful. I thought they were like zombies, and I'm not like into the whole like zombie thing, but I just thought it was kind of funny, so I got it and realized no, it's just like a perfectly normal little sampler. But in keeping with what I had seen, I did give them some grayish purplish skin. This is stitched on a 36 count linen from Fortnite Fabric from their ornament club that I was briefly in last year, the year before, I don't remember. And it's stitched somewhat in the called for, some from stash. I did change some of the colors just based on what I had. I also realized recently I signed it as 22, but I finished it in February. Yeah, I've wanted to stitch this in February for a couple of years. I thought it'd be kind of fun and make me less cynical about that month, but it was a lot of fun. Next, I have this pattern from You and I and Friends, which I found on Cobweb Corner. There you go. It's called March Winds, and I love a moon with a face. So I stitched this on a scrap of 32 count Lugana, also from Fortnite, from another club I was in with them. And I believe I pulled from stash for most of these. I think I used a lot of fancy flosses I have from Forbidden Fiber Co. I had gotten them a couple years back. I was trying to like kind of make my own floss advent for myself, but then dug into them immediately. So this is an eyelet, the little cheek stitch. So that was fun to practice. And this was a very quick, relatively quick stitch. I had a lot of fun just like whipping this one out in a few days. Yeah. My big project this year is my Tinctorium from Chatelaine, and so I've decided that my other sort of 2570 other kind of projects that I'll be working on, in addition to stitching on that every Wednesday, I'm just realizing it's Wednesday and I haven't stitched on it yet. Oops. I want to work on getting through my smalls, all the patterns I have that are like 100 by 100 or less, or whips that I have from previous years. I've got like a handful of those. So having these two finished just feels really, really good because that chatelaine is going to take me a long time. I believe it's Maggie from Kitschy Whips and Fiber Arts Amy. They do Chatelaine Wednesday where you just stitch on a chatelaine every Wednesday. I've been able to do that so far every week this year, and I feel very proud of myself. I try to put in like about a length of floss each time or like complete a color. I'm still sort of in the middle. I guess I could show it to you so you know what I'm talking about because that is my, I guess, newest start. So I am stitching this on a 32 count linen, maybe a Zweigart. I don't remember the name, but it's like a basic, it's like an off-white maybe. And this is what I have. Doo-doo-doo. So yeah, it doesn't maybe look like much, but I haven't looked at it like this before. Oh my gosh, I love the variegation. Wow. Oh my God, I'm showing you the back. Never mind. I never thought I'd be a person who did that. I was like, how does anybody make that error? Well, here we are, folks. I've done it. Oh my God, so much better. It's like, oh, she's looking fuzzy. Okay, this is my chatelaine, the middle of it so far, and I have had a really fun time working with different floss brands and materials. I believe these are all silk so far that I've worked with, and I've never worked with silks before. I have some like kind of hang-ups about it back from my like militant vegan days. Now I'm like a chill vegan. Like I knit with wool and like just try to make sure I get it from sources that I feel comfortable with. But silk always kind of freaked me out, and I haven't done any research, I'll be honest, about, you know, where the silks come from for these various brands. And yeah, I've already bought it, so I'm okay with that for now. Maybe in the future if I do another one. Actually, I would like to be more thoughtful in the future because I bought the floss pack and the bead pack from European Cross Stitch because I saw that that was typically recommended in all the forums and things I was poking around in. I think in the future I would like to source my own floss. The beads is super convenient to just order those because it's the exact amount you need. And then you don't have all these like leftover beads. But the floss, there's a lot of metallics in chatelaines, which to me, it never like occurred to me that that's actually plastic. I don't think I thought it was literal metal, but I just wasn't thinking about what the materials could be. So, I would probably in future, like, I'll use up what I have if I do another chatelaine, but then I would like to like swap out the metallics for something else. Or, you know, there's so many different crafty, thrifty places in the city where I live. I'm sure I could find some that are like, would be, yeah, secondhand. So I'd be more comfortable with that than like buying plastic for my crafts. But yeah, that's my like newest start of the year, which is exciting. I also have some whip updates. I guess that one's technically a whip. Oop, I dropped some my dinky dyes. Oh, it's so soft, just like they say. Okay, we'll go in this order. In January, my focus was on my Kind Kapal. So this was a stitch along that Nithya from Daybreak Stitchery began in 2021. 22? I don't remember. But I started working on it, and this is where I'm at. I've been I guess in January my focus was trying to do some stuff in the middle because I really like doing the borders and the edges. I just like repetitive geometric stitching. It feels very soothing to me. And I have to pay a little bit more attention when I'm doing this middle part. But once you get in a groove with that, that feels fun too. So yeah, I hope I can finish this one this year. I've only got 4 or 5 whips, I think, that are still lingering. And yeah, I think with the stitching the smalls and stitching on whips, I'll be able to get some of these done. By the way, this is a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite Fabrics, and I'm stitching this in the called for DMC 2/2. Or over 1, as the pattern calls for. Okay, let me put this back in here. And then my last little cross-stitchy thing is the ever beautiful Butterfly Garden by the Blue Flower. Just so many colors. I think I have close to a page finished with this one, minus a couple of like backstitchy things, and I've been hopping around and stuff, but yeah, I'm really pleased with how this one's looking. This is stitched on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite, using the called for DMC. Here we go. It's actually going to be, oh gosh golly, how are we doing this? There we go. So this is what it's looking like. Wow, nice work. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking about focusing on pages with this one. I've never really done that before. I've usually just sort of tried to jump around and do what I felt like and focus on like the big chunks of color. But this one, there's so many colors. I think just doing it page by page approximately will be more motivating for me, or just like easier to keep a handle on. So yeah, that's that one. She's looking good. Okay, next I have quite a few knitting and actually also some crochet to share. So if you don't care, bye. Thanks for being here. First thing I made this, I believe, in January. This is a cowl. Just a quick little. It's by Tin Can Knits. The name is called Simple Yet Effective. I had this beautiful skein of DK weight yarn that I got when I was visiting kind of the Vermont, New York area. So the brand is Round Mountain Fibers, and this is the Willow DK. It was a sort of, I must have it somewhere. The tag had this really cool octopus on it, and that's sort of what drew me to it. And the skein itself was beautiful. I'm not super a fan of how these things look knit up. Those multicolor skeins, it doesn't excite me as much as the yarn in the skein does, but it is very warm and it's come in very handy. I think it's very pretty, like up close. And I know, this is a special skein to me just because I was with my dad on a trip when I got it, and that was an important trip for us. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. The reason I was working with it is because I started a different project that called for DK weight, because I'm trying to like work through my stash a little bit, and I had paired it with another yarn. I didn't really like how they were looking together, so I just ripped it out and decided to do something with this. The yarn chicken that I played was unbelievable. I had maybe this much left to sew in at the end, so well done. Honestly, a little bit bummed I didn't have more left over. I had this I thought a really good idea. My girlfriend makes pom-poms. That's like her fiber crafty thing, and I don't know how to do that. So I thought it'd be fun to like save the like little balls of yarn that are left from other projects. Like I just have this one here. Oh, hey, this is the tag for the yarn that I used. It doesn't have an octopus on it. It's got whatever this is. There's another skein I got that has a cool octopus on it. Oh, maybe it does have, I don't know, whatever. What I was trying to say, like this is left over from another project I did, a hat that I actually knit for said girlfriend, which I'll insert a clip of here while I'm speaking about it. That one is the Mirza number 1 by Nimble Needles. And then I also made another hat, the firewood cap. I made that for my dad. It looks like I made it in December, but I had to fix it a little bit because it was kind of short for his head. So I technically worked on it this year, but I have like these little balls left, and I think it'd be cool. Let me finish the thought I had started speaking 7 minutes ago. I want to give her the leftover yarn and have her make it into a pom-pom with all of the different yarns that I use. So part of me is like, should I just like frog till here and then like knit the edge piece just so I have a little bit left over so I can put it in this pom-pom, like a year-end pom-pom? I think that's such a fun idea. So I gotta like hang on to these guys, which I would do anyway. And yeah, then I can pass them along and have someone make something very cool and beautiful and fun. Like that would be like such a fun ornament to have on the tree or just like hang around. The hat that I made for her, I made with that green I showed you. It's by the Wandering Flock. The base was their 100% superwash merino, and the fingering weight, and the color is forest. And I actually held it double because knitting a hat in fingering weight after knitting 4 pairs of socks in a row at the end of last year, I couldn't do it. I needed to take a break from that. And plus it was taking a long time, and I wanted to give it to her while the weather was still cold. So, yeah, so those are the 2 hats I worked on, the cowl. I have also, let me check my list to make sure there wasn't any other finishes I had in the knitting category. Oh yes, I finished a pair of socks for a friend. They recently had top surgery, and I wanted to give them something for their recovery. So I had some yarn that a coworker at the yarn store I work at gave me when she was at Rhinebeck. And then I have some leftover yarn from some socks that I made for my mom. So this is kind of what's left. So I don't have those socks anymore, but I just knit, you know, sock like this, ribbed what I usually do, and then did the toes in this. And then another friend in that same little group chat, I offered to make her socks as well. This is just, I love having socks on the go without really a deadline or destination necessarily. They're just really great to transport around on the subway or when I'm waiting for appointments to start and things like that. So I'm doing the cuff and the heels in that like jewel toned yarn, and then the rest of the sock and the foot in that gray for that friend. So yeah, if there's any left of the gray, I might do some little footies for myself, and then we'll all have matching-ish socks, which I think that'd be really cute. We already have like friendship tattoos, which is a little bit more permanent than socks, but whatever. So yeah, that was a finish as well as a whip. And my final whip for knitting is what's it called? The Blue Shawl by Fickle Knitter Design. And just so happens that I am using blue yarn for it. I'm using Heart of the Ocean by United States of Fiber. And I'm knitting this on size 6 needles. And this is how it's looking. A little tricky to see the lace, but once it's blocked, I think it'll be easier. I'm making this for my mom for her birthday in October. Getting started a little early because I made her those socks last year, and I just love, my mom is knit-worthy. That's all there is to it. She gets it. She knows how to knit. She used to knit. She's made me socks. And she just is so happy and appreciative. And I know she like loves these kinds of homemade gifts. So it's gonna be growing a lot. And I'm having a lot of fun with lace. I'm finding that I can't be super distracted or even minimally distracted when I'm working on it. Like I can't even be just on a phone call or anything like that. I have to have nothing, like, you know, I can have maybe music playing, but otherwise I gotta be focused. So that's new for me. I did knit some lace socks back in high school, and I don't remember like how I felt about it then. Like knee-high lace socks, because that seemed like a good idea at the time. And it was fun. I remember that being like pretty easy to carry around. So maybe it's just a very memorable pattern. This has like 9 different rows, I think, that I have to think about, and then purling back after each one. Anyway, I'm excited to make that and give that to her for her birthday. And yeah. Okay, I have a crochet whip today. I have been wanting to improve my crochet skills since I started working at the yarn shop where I work, almost 2 years ago, 1.5 years, 2 years. And I have not. I've identified plenty of projects that I want to do and haven't. So we had some yarn that we got from Rosa Pomar, my favorite, a new to us base called Couverture. And traditionally this yarn is used to make a particular kind of blanket. And then after you knit it, you like tease it with like a carder, and it gets this sort of like fluffy halo. So it looks sort of like faux fur apparently. I don't know if I'll be doing that yet. I started trying to knit a dog sweater for my girlfriend's dog, Reba, who I will show you a picture of because she, I'm sorry, actually is the cutest dog in the world, and I would not call myself a dog person. However, like, oh, my heart. Anyway, that dog needed a sweater because obviously that's what I can bring to the table. And I tried to knit one, and I tried to follow some patterns and kind of do some things on my own to fit her little funky body, and couldn't figure it out. So I ripped that out and decided that I wanted to just make some granny squares because I've never done that. So I learned from a YouTube video. Now I've got a huge stack of them. So they're all this kind of variation. This is just the yarn that we had from Rosa Pomar, and then it went on sale, and then I bought it. So we had a lot of green left, and then this is technically gray, but it looks sort of like purpley to me, and then some gold, and I just love all of these together. So my thought is I will either make like a cover for my chair that I've stained the chair, and it doesn't have, I can't remove the cloth that is stained, and this could be like a nice little cover for it. Or I wonder if I could like piece it together and sort of like make a overcoat for Reba. I don't know. I'm still deciding what to do. I'm just gonna make as many squares as I can until the purple and the yellow run out. I have a lot of green left, so there's some other patterns that use this yarn that I'm thinking about trying, like some slippers, which could be cool, but we'll see. So anyway, that's my crochet update. Oh, and here's my orts for this project. I think it's fun to keep orts for a particular, like a multicolor project in the same jar because I have so many stupid little jars. And then I like use them to stuff little like pillows and things later on, but it's fun to look at it while I'm working on it. All right. I think that's everything. I'll tell you a little bit about my earrings. So the craft guild I'm in had a pop-up shop for December, and I worked there, volunteered for a day, and yeah, ended up taking some stuff home, including these earrings. I'm not 100% sure how they were made. This feels like leather or faux leather. And then this, I don't know if this was hand felted by the guild member who made it, but then there's beads stitched on it, and it kind of looks like an eye. These like 3 beads right here. So I don't wear these enough, but you get to see them today. All right, I have to go fold some laundry and clean my floors. So thank you for being here. It's really good to pop back in and say hello. I have deleted the Instagram app off of my phone, so I'm not really super reachable there at the moment. Doesn't mean I won't be back, but just, yeah. If you need me, good luck, because I don't really check my comments either. No, I'll keep an eye on things. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I am still watching all of you, even if I don't leave a comment, and I love you very much. Very happy to still be a part of this community, even from afar and more sporadically than I have been in the past. Have a wonderful spring, if it's spring where you are, or whatever transitional season you might be entering, and I will see you next time. Bye.